round of applause for Mitch coming to the stage.
All right, how we all doing? Really? Sorry, so a couple things. First of all, you all know that behind every man is a great woman, right? All the men admit that. It took me many, many years to succumb and acknowledge that, but today is a very special day. It's my wife's birthday. Yeah. So we all have to sing to her, is that okay? Yeah. All right, I'll start and you guys finish. Oh, by the way, her name is Jeanette, so you know what she is. Yeah. Because you don't want to get to that spot, right? Ready? Happy birthday to you. Sing louder. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jeanette. Happy birthday to you. Stand up, Jen. Thank you. So I am waiting for them to put my slides up. Well, while I'll do that, we're going to talk for a second about the shift in the market. So the market's changing. We all know that, right? Everybody knows that. Anybody not know that? Just out of curiosity, how many listings do you guys have? We're in the Cocoa Beach area, Melbourne area of Florida. We're still at 50% of inventory. You guys still in the same boat, roughly? So the market's shifting, but it's shifting different than it did in 2008. In 2008, we crashed, and I don't see a crash happening. I could be wrong, by the way. I was wrong in 2004 when I said the market will never crash. Boy, was I wrong. But part of the reason why we were so successful during the last crash is here. It was mindset. And I'm not going to do a whole thing. I'm actually going to give you some actionable stuff to grow your business. But mindset is the most important thing you do this. And my favorite line in the world is by Henry Ford. It is, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And what I find is most people, and not just in real estate, just in life, go to the negative. Oh, the market's crashing. Go to the negative, right? When the market crashed in 2008, was actually started in 6 in Florida, I said, what a great opportunity. We'll never take a listing again. And we're just going to work with buyers. And we built our buyer database up to over 50, 60,000 people and dominated the buyer market because we had a shift in our mind. We got our shift together. And it's really important that you don't let the negativity, and by the way, you're going to hear from most of the realtors, look, you guys are here. That's wicked awesome, right? I'm actually Boston guy, wicked awesome. But you guys are here, which is a step ahead of most people. Most people aren't here. Most people are sitting there in their homes right now going, oh, the market's shifting, there's no business, what do? I want to cry, and I'm going to go get a job at McDonald's. Not that there's anything wrong with working at McDonald's, but my point is people give up way too easy. I've saw it in my brokerage when the market started shifting. I've seen it in many ways. So you start with your brain. And sometimes you have to adjust. I mean, I adjusted by giving up listings. When I gave up listings, everybody told me I was going to fail. By the way, if you guys heard me sing Happy Birthday to my wife, you'll know why I don't sing in public. So in our band, my granddaughter is the singer. I play guitar. So Rich Tomasini spoke at a conference we had in Dallas the other day. And it was so funny. So as you see my slides, he made the best joke. He goes, I don't have these slides because I went to public school. Well, not only did I go to public school, but I was number 326 out of 328 and got kicked out of college. So my slides are the most amateur things you'll ever see in your life. I generally don't follow them. Okay, so just a really quick on my career. I started in real estate in 2001. Just had my 21st anniversary. I started September 10th, 2001, so the next day everything stopped. And then I wrote my first contract that Saturday at an open house. I started my brokerage in 2005, built that to 120 agents, merged in 2017 with EXP with 40 agents, and now run an organization of about 2,000 agents in 47 states and 7 countries. Really? Yeah, that cool, right? And by the way, just not to hop on EXP, because I'm not going to do that. Those of you on EXP, who's not on Family Tree? Is everybody on EXP Family Tree? If you're not on it, you go in the workplace and sign up for EXP Family Tree. It's awesome. So mindset, we talked about, one of the biggest issues most people have is accountability. I'm not just ADD, I'm ADDDDDDD. So for me, it's really hard to stay focused, it's really hard to be accountable. And what I learned many, many years ago is you can rationalize all you want, you can bullshit yourself all you want, but you can't lie to yourself when you're looking in the mirror. So I want you all to try this when you go home. It's a very powerful exercise. Look in the mirror, look directly into your eyeballs, and then try to lie to yourself. You can't. So I get up every morning, I'll tell you my routine. I get up every morning, I take my clothes off and go in the shower, because I tried to shower with my clothes on once, it wasn't fun. And I look in the mirror while I'm shaving, and I'm having these conversations with myself. Did I do a good job? Did I help enough people today? My life has changed. I don't sell property anymore. I stopped in October. But it's really about contribution and how to help people. And I'm constantly keeping myself accountable, because if you don't keep accountable to yourself, who's going to keep you accountable? Hello?
No one.
Thank you. All right, so it's a really good exercise. The other thing is, do the work. I mean, I've trained thousands of agents. I've had a brokerage with 120. I've had personally 500 agents locally that I've trained in Brevard County. And the number one thing between people that are successful and people that are not is one thing: work. There's a great book called Relentless, which is by Kobe Bryant's trainer. And the biggest thing in that book is do the work. And nobody does the work. I don't know what it is with this industry, and I gotta be up for a minute, but nobody wants to get here. Everybody's happy being here. One of my other favorite books is Good to Great by Jim Collins. And the line in there is called, good is the evil of great. Everybody's happy with mediocrity. Don't be mediocre, be wicked awesome. So I told you I wanted to give you some actionable stuff. When the market gets tough, I think it's really important that you get back to basics. My first year in the business, I didn't know one person except for my beautiful wife, and we were dating at the time. Of course, I knew I was going to marry her because she's the only person that laughs at my jokes. And I was told not to do open houses. I was told not to do internet. Of course, being the first online dating service, that was going to be part of it. And I was told not to do floor time, which was a thing back then, which isn't a thing anymore. So I chose to ignore the people that told me what not to do, because I know if I listen to the people that tell me what not to do, I'll never do anything. So I said, open houses, people are coming to me. How can that be a bad thing? So okay, I sold 36 homes my first year, 50 my second year, 80 my third year, 80 my fourth year, then started my brokerage. And the only consistent part of that entire thing is I did open houses every weekend, every week, except for when I was on vacation. And they were the best lead generation source there is. So what business are we in? Lead generation. If you're not generating leads, you're dead. And there's a hierarchy of leads, by the way. Let me go over that real quick. By the way, ADD does not follow slides. That's a guidepost. The hierarchy of leads is like this. Facebook leads are dreadful. They're the worst possible lead you can get. Not that some people are converting them, but for the average agent, they're a waste of time and money. Average conversion rate is 1 out of 300. Pay-per-click leads, Google AdWords. Average conversion is 0.75%. It's not even 1%, so 1 out of 100. Average Zillow Realtor.com leads is 3%, 3 out of 100. I do not have the stats for the next two, but they're much better. Open houses, to me, are the best leads besides referral leads, meaning, hey, Mitch, sell my friend's a house. So when you understand that, it makes what you do better. You need to decide what do you want in place. I was talking to Peter earlier, I don't know who Peter is lead conversion processes, which are awesome. You guys should all look at that later on. He'll be talking about that. But you have to generate leads, and you have to have processes in place. I'm not going to talk about processes. There's a million things out there to find out about the process. What I want to talk about is just a couple of secrets to open houses. Who does open houses? Yeah, most of you, right? It is a gold mine. Now, I hear from a lot of people all the time is, oh, open houses suck, nobody came. Well, usually they suck it because you suck, and that's why nobody came. So I'm going to give you some tips. These are really important tips, by the way. Firstly, never advertise. We've done studies on this. By the way, I do studies on everything. That's why I built my brokerage where I built what I've done with 2,000 agents. Never advertise, because if you advertise, you're stuck at the house. And we're going to get to that in a minute, okay? I just do lots of signs. And you can do just open house signs with arrows pointing to them, but I always did 20 to 30 signs. Never advertise. We know that 90% of the people that come to your open house come because they saw your sign. And now the people that go to the negative say, well, what about the other 10%? What about them? I don't care about that. I pick a house. Well, it's funny, so I was the first guy doing forced registration on websites back in 2001. Everybody's like, I can't believe you do that. And I'm like, well, 15% of the people come to my site and they register. They're like, what about the other 85%? What about them? Okay. So don't worry about what you don't get, worry about what you get, right? I guess that's my point. So anyways, you pick a house to do the open house in one, no gated communities because they're a pain in the ass. Pick a house that has 2 vacant homes within a mile or so. This will all come together in a minute. When someone walks in the door, How many people say, are you working with a realtor? Everybody says that. Don't ever say that. Which realtor in town are you working with? If you ask, are you working with a realtor, 90% are going to say yes, because that's just like retail. When they say, I'm working with Bill, take it a step further. We'll lose Rich, because we'll take this a step further. I'm working with Rich. You know, Rich sucks at real estate, right? No, I'm saying. So I say, oh, so how do you know Rich? Has he been showing you property? No. How did you meet him? Well, I actually haven't met him. He's on his website. I registered on his website. That is not a person working with somebody. Now, I morally and ethically will never, ever, ever steal a customer from a customer. Never done it, never will. But if someone tells me they're registered on a website, they're not working with that person. So you got to dig a little bit deeper, because the goal of an open house is one buyer. One buyer. If I get one buyer, I'm excited, right? All right, so let's go back to the beginning. So they're looking through the house, and I don't follow people around. I'm like really, I just make jokes. And that's really, I have no talent at all. I look like this, so I had to be funny. And I say, so let me ask you a question. Is this the price range you're looking for? They say yes. Okay. And what do you think of the house? Yeah, it's okay, not the right one. Well, by the way, I have 2 more homes down the street we can go take a look at if you'd like. This is really powerful shit, by the way. And they say, would you like to take a look? 80% say yes. 80%. I have a little be back in 30 minutes sign. I stick it on the door, right? And I go take them in my car. And I know some people are against people in your car. I always put people in my car because I can't build a relationship if they're in somebody else's car. And then I go show them the other 2 homes. Now what we do, the conversation is really important during this time. I do not talk about real estate. I already know what they're looking for. They're looking for a house similar to the house I have the open house at. I talk about their kids, I talk about their family, their lifestyle, and I love, there's nothing better than when they say, oh yeah, Billy's 11. I go, does Billy play sports? Yeah, he plays baseball. Oh, when's his next game? Tuesday. I'm calling them on Wednesday. Hey, how'd Billy do his game last night? I build from here. And if you build this business from here, you will never work a day in your life. It is the easiest business I've ever done in my life, besides paintball. Dating was pretty easy too. Because I built from here. I really care about my customers. I really care about the people and I dig deep into their personal lives. And that creates that connection, which is what it's all about in this business. Hank would say it's all about relationships. And I had to create new relationships because I didn't know one person except Jeanette when I got into real estate. Now, while I'm with them, showing this house, this is the reason why I don't advertise. And I always did my open house from 10 to 4, by the way. When I was selling 80 homes a year, I went from 12 to 4, or 1 to 5, or something like that. Now I'm with them, they love me. How can you not, right? And I say, so you guys seem really cool. And by the way, during this conversation, I'm finding out their buying time frame. I'm not going to do what I'm going to say if someone's buying in 6 months. I'm going to do what I'm saying if someone's buying now. Because if not, I want to get back to the open house and find another lead. I said, I can actually close up the open house today, take you guys out. I'd rather hang out with you guys all day than sit in the house all day. I'm like, really? You'd do that? Yeah. That's how I sold so many homes. Never sold less than 24 homes from open houses every single year I sold full time. And by the way, talking about speaking from the heart, I have not looked for a lead since 2005. So I worked from 2001, September 2001, till March of 2005 when I opened my brokerage. And I have not looked for a lead since March of 2005, and I can sell as many homes a year as I want, with just because people call me because I help them from the heart. Okay? Everybody get all that? Good stuff? All right. I want to give you other actionable tips. Now, they have nothing to do with open houses, by the way. I want to do something else because my ADD mind goes other places. One of the things I notice in real estate is most people know how to value a house, but they don't know how to price a house. What do I mean? How many homes do you see out there? What's the average price there? 450. 450? So we're going to say 500 to make my story work better. So, what do you see mostly? $499.9. Who prices their properties at $499.9 on $500,000? Come on. I know you're all full of crap. All right, so here's the deal. Everybody prices it at $499. Look at your MLS. Everybody prices it at $499. So I'm giving you a tip now to win I'm going to give you 2 tips to win every single listing appointment you go on to. Remember, this is just about different stuff to help you in your business that are actionable. I'll give you the quick story. I was at a listing appointment with one of my new agents, a $1 million property, going up against the number, I think she's number 3 in the county. And keep in mind, I don't sell full time. I was selling 20, 30 homes a year while I have my brokerage and with the EXP stuff. And so I asked them if they talked to another realtor. They said yes. I go, what did they tell you to price that property at? It was a $999, $999. I love that. It's a guaranteed win of the listing. I go, let me explain the difference. By the way, I always talk really positive about the other agents. Barbara is one of the best agents. I love Barbara, one of my favorite people in the business. However, his name was Dr. Watson. He's a pacemaker guy. Isn't that funny? But anyway, so I said, for $1, well, I said, let me tell you the difference between a marketing realtor and just a regular realtor. For $1, she gave up 50% of the marketing. It's like, what do you mean? I go, well, people searching in your price range are searching from 500,000 to $1 million, and $1 million to 1.5. Anybody searching from 1 to 1.5 will never see a house. I go, but there's more. You're looking to buy a house. Do you want to be at the top of your price range or the bottom of your price range? Everybody 100% says bottom. No one's ever said top. And I've used this 500 times. So I go, not only are you not seen by the 1 to 1.5 crowd, you're the highest price in your search thing. Because that's how people search for homes, between 500 and $1 million. So anybody searching for 500 and $1 million, you're the last place they're going to look at. I go, we need to list it at $1 million even, and you're going to be the lowest price now in the 1 to 1.5. He signed within 6 seconds, right? You got to do this. No, it drives me crazy. Even all my agents, who I love dearly, none of them are here, so I can call them schmucks. They will not listen to me. And it's the easiest listing tool. I mean, that's how I get all my listings. I've gotten with the exception of one listing recently, I've gotten every listing I've gone on for 10 years because I use these strategies. So that's number one. Number two, so I have like, it's kind of, you guys won't understand this, my wife understands it. I have two conversations always going on in my brain. One that you guys are hearing and one myself is saying. I'm really, really being restrained on the bad jokes. Anyway, so the second thing, I am so good at internet marketing that not only are you going to see me on my website and every major portal in the world, but I'm going to micro it down all the way to every local realtor and broker website. If you go on any of the websites, you're going to see your listings. I'm that good at marketing. Nobody says that. We all have that. It's called IDX. Brilliant, right? I came up with that myself. But those two things have game-changed listing appointments for me. You're the expert in the internet because you've got it all the way down to every agent website. So not all of our agents are going to try to find a buyer for you, but all these other agents that I got you on their websites, you got to do that too. Cool, right? Starbucks, lead generation. One of my agents does this in California. I think it's the most brilliant way to do business. He goes to Starbucks Monday through Friday from 8 to 11. He has a sign on the back of his laptop that says, real estate question, ask me. And he does 30 transactions a year there. So here's the cool thing about that. Say you're in a price range, the average price range is close to 500, but say you're in a price range that's 300, and you want to up your price range. Go to the Starbucks in that price range. Love it. And then I'm going to end you with this. This is going to be, it's a 5-minute thing I'm going to do in 1 minute. I was flying home from Denver one day, and I always preface that I wasn't stoned because when you come back from Denver, everybody assumes you're stoned. And I decided to upgrade to first class and listen to the radio and not talk to anybody. I'm listening to the radio, and all of a sudden I hear a voice that says, your expectations are not their expectations. Now, a quick backstory to it is my dad was in the Korean War. He's a drill sergeant in the Korean War, and he died from stress. He died at 58 years old, 9 heart attacks, quadruple bypass, heart transplant. It was because of stress. At the time, I had about 12 agents. I was stressed always. My wife will tell you she hated me then because I was constantly stressed out, and she hated seeing me like that. And just stressed out all the time. So I'm listening to this, and a few minutes later, I hear the same voice. I'm still listening to the radio. Your expectations are not their expectations. So the third time, I finally took the headphones off and what the hell is this? Someone was talking to me. And I sat there for a minute, and I had 12 agents, and all I wanted was people to be here. But my expectations were people to be there. Their expectations were to be here. So if their expectations are here, and my expectations for them are there, where are they going to be? Right? I can't fix that. So I actually changed my entire business model from there. I went and completely changed my business model, but it turned it into a life lesson for me. And what I'm going to tell you right now is very powerful if you use it. And I'm not going to tell you how to use it for real estate. It's a whole other story I don't have time for. But I want you to get this lesson because all of your disappointments, most of your disappointments, almost all of them, are based on your expectations of other people. Your wife, your husband, your kids, your friends. You expect them to do stuff. And when they don't, you're disappointed. So what I've been able to do, not perfectly, I still have issues. We all have issues, right? That's why I look like this. Get rid of your expectations of people. People are not going to be who you think they should be. They're going to be who they want to be. And if you can get rid of their expectations, I can tell you, life changes. It changed for me that day on the plane. I applied it to my entire family, I applied it to my friends, I applied it to employees, all employees I could fire. I applied it to all my agents. It really changed my life, and if you really put that into perspective, and I have some videos online about that, you can check it out too. It will change your life. Thank you very much, everybody. Woo!